Hi, this is Nicole again. I serve as a spokesman for Nehemiah Reset. This is the second video on the lives of Jesus' disciples. Peter, also known as Simon Peter, is one of the most prominent figures in the New Testament and a key disciple of Jesus Christ. His story is a rich tapestry of faith, loyalty, and transformation, making him a compelling figure to study and learn from. In this video, we will explore Peter's life and legacy, diving deep into his upbringing, characteristics, relationships, and ultimate fate. So what is the meaning behind Peter's name? Peter's name holds significant meaning in the context of his life and mission. The name Peter is derived from the Greek word Petros, which means rock. This name was given to him by Jesus, who declared, "You are Peter, and on this rock, I will build my church," Matthew 16 verse 18. The symbolism behind Peter's name is twofold. First, it reflects Peter's position as a foundational figure in the early Christian church. He was chosen by Jesus to be a leader among the disciples and played a crucial role in spreading the gospel after Jesus' death and resurrection. Second, the name Rock represents Peter's steadfastness and strength of character, qualities that would come to define his leadership style. So did Peter have a nickname? In addition to his given name, Peter is also known by the nickname Cephas, which is Aramaic for rock. This nickname was likely given to him by Jesus or the other disciples as a term of endearment and affirmation of his leadership role. Another nickname given to Peter was Son of Thunder. This nickname originates from the Gospel of Mark, specifically in Mark 3 verse 17, where it refers to him along with his brother Andrew as Boanerges, which means sons of thunder. This designation is thought to originate from Jesus himself, indicating that Peter and Andrew were known for having fiery, passionate, and impulsive personalities. The significance behind this nickname lies in the personality traits and actions of Peter as described in the New Testament. Peter is often portrayed as bold, outspoken, and sometimes impulsive in his actions and words. He was the first disciple to declare Jesus as the Messiah, Matthew 16 verse 16, and often took the lead among the disciples. However, Peter also exhibited moments of doubt, fear, and denial of Jesus, Matthew 26 verses 69 to 75. Peter's impulsive nature is highlighted in several instances in the Gospels. For example, when Jesus predicts his own death, Peter rebukes him and insists that it will not happen, Matthew 16 verses 21 to 23. In the Garden of Gethsemane, Peter draws his sword and cuts off the ear of a servant of the high priest in defense of Jesus, John 18 verse 10. These actions reflect Peter's fiery and passionate nature, which could be seen as a characteristic of a son of thunder. The nickname Son of Thunder can be interpreted symbolically as well. Thunder is often associated with power, intensity, and authority in the Bible. Peter's role as a leader among the disciples and his eventual role as a key figure in the early Christian church reflect his strong and authoritative personality. Despite his flaws and moments of weakness, Peter's faith and unwavering devotion to Jesus ultimately lead him to become a pillar of the early Christian community. In terms of theological interpretations, some scholars suggest that the nickname Son of Thunder may also reflect Peter's role as a proclaimer of the gospel message. Thunder is often associated with the voice of God in the Old Testament, signaling divine power and authority. As a proclaimer of the gospel, Peter's bold and passionate preaching plays a crucial role in spreading the message of Jesus Christ to the world. The nickname Son of Thunder given to Peter in the Bible captures his fiery, passionate, and impulsive personality. While Peter's flaws and moments of weakness are evident in the biblical narratives, his unwavering faith, leadership, and proclamation of the gospel message ultimately define his character and significance in the Christian tradition. This title serves as a reminder of Peter's complex and multifaceted role as a disciple of Jesus and a key figure in the early Christian church. So, why did Jesus specifically choose Peter? Jesus chose Peter for a variety of reasons, including his faith, passion, and potential for growth. Peter demonstrated unwavering loyalty and devotion to Jesus throughout his ministry, even in the face of adversity. He was one of the first disciples to recognize Jesus as the Messiah and was eager to follow him wherever he went. Peter's bold and impulsive nature also played a role in Jesus' decision to choose him. While Peter's impulsivity sometimes led to mistakes and challenges, it also made him a dynamic and engaging figure who could inspire and lead others. Jesus saw in Peter a leader who could bring energy and enthusiasm to the early Christian movement. What was Peter's profession and upbringing? Peter was a fisherman by trade, working alongside his brother Andrew in the fishing industry on the Sea of Galilee. Fishing was a demanding and physically taxing profession, requiring patience, skill, and teamwork. These qualities would later serve Peter well in his ministry as a leader of the early church. Peter's upbringing is less clear, but it is likely that he grew up in or around the town of Bethsaida in the region of Galilee. Bethsaida was a major fishing village on the Sea of Galilee, known for its bustling market and vibrant community. Growing up in this environment would have shaped Peter's character and values, instilling in him a strong work ethic and a deep connection to the land and sea. How was Peter introduced to Jesus? Peter's introduction to Jesus is a key moment in his story and marks the beginning of a transformative journey. According to the Gospels, Peter first encountered Jesus while he was fishing on the Sea of Galilee. Jesus approached Peter and Andrew and invited them to become his disciples, promising to make them fishers of men, Matthew 4 verse 19. Peter's response to Jesus' call was immediate and enthusiastic. He left behind his livelihood and family to follow Jesus, embarking on a journey that would change his life forever. This moment of surrender and faith set the stage for Peter's deepening relationship with Jesus and his eventual role as a leader in the early church. What were Peter's greatest attributes and weaknesses? Peter's greatest attributes can be seen in his passion, loyalty, and humility. He was fiercely devoted to Jesus and was willing to go to great lengths to defend and support him. Peter's boldness and courage often set him apart from the other disciples, making him a natural leader and spokesperson for the group. At the same time, Peter's weaknesses were also evident in his impulsive nature and tendency to speak and act without thinking. He was quick to react to situations without fully understanding the consequences, leading to moments of error and misjudgment. Peter's denial of Jesus 3 times during his trial is perhaps the most famous example of his weakness and vulnerability. Did Peter have a wife? The question of whether Peter had a wife is a topic of debate among scholars and theologians. The Bible does not provide explicit information about Peter's marital status, leaving the issue open to interpretation. Some scholars believe that Peter was married based on references to his mother-in-law in the Gospels, Matthew 8 verse 14, while others argue that he may have been single or widowed. If Peter did have a wife, her involvement in his ministry is not well documented. It is possible that she supported Peter in his work as a disciple and later as a leader of the early church, but there is no definitive evidence to confirm this theory. The mystery of Peter's marital status adds a layer of complexity to his character and raises questions about the personal sacrifices he may have made in his commitment to Jesus and the gospel. So, what is some of the evidence of Peter's leadership skills? There is ample evidence to suggest that Peter was born a leader or developed into one through his experiences with Jesus. From the moment of his call to discipleship, Peter exhibited leadership qualities such as courage, initiative, and vision. His willingness to take risks and step out in faith set him apart from the other disciples and marked him as a natural leader. The 10 top leadership traits exhibited by Peter were the following. 1. Vision. Peter had a clear vision of his mission and a deep sense of purpose in his work as a disciple. He understood the importance of spreading the gospel and building the church, even in the face of opposition and persecution. 2. Courage. Peter showed great courage and determination in the face of adversity, standing up for his faith and beliefs even when it was difficult or dangerous to do so. 3. Humility. Despite his prominent role in the early church, Peter remained humble and approachable, always giving credit to God for his successes and accomplishments. 4. Resilience. Peter faced numerous trials and setbacks in his ministry, including imprisonment and persecution, but he never wavered in his commitment to Jesus and the gospel. 5. Empathy. Peter had a deep empathy for others and a genuine concern for their well-being. He showed compassion and kindness to those in need, demonstrating a servant leader mentality. 6. Communication. Peter was an effective communicator who could inspire and motivate others through his words and actions. He had a powerful presence and an ability to connect with people on a personal level. 7. Decision-making. Peter was decisive and quick to act when faced with important decisions or challenges. He trusted his instincts and relied on his faith to guide him in difficult situations. 8. Teamwork. Peter understood the importance of working together with others to achieve common goals. He embraced collaboration and cooperation, fostering a sense of unity and purpose among the disciples. 9. Adaptability. Peter was flexible and adaptable in his approach to leadership, willing to change course and adjust his strategies as needed. He was open to new ideas and perspectives, seeking out innovative solutions to complex problems. 10. Integrity. Peter maintained a high level of integrity and moral character in his leadership, always acting with honesty, transparency, and accountability. He set a positive example for others to follow, embodying the values of faith and integrity. What were some of the events that shaped Peter's leadership skills? Several key events in Peter's life shaped his leadership skills and influenced his development as a disciple. These events tested Peter's faith, character, and resilience, challenging him to grow and mature in his role as a leader. Some of the most significant events include: 1. Walking on water. Matthew 14 verses 22 to 33. When Jesus walked on water during a storm, Peter asked to join him and stepped out of the boat in faith. Although Peter faltered and began to sink, Jesus reached out and saved him, teaching Peter a valuable lesson in trust and reliance on God. 2. Confession of Christ. Matthew 16 verses 13 to 20. Peter's declaration that Jesus was the Messiah and Son of God marked a turning point in his relationship with Jesus and solidified his position as a leader among the disciples. Jesus praised Peter for his faith and revealed his plan to build the church on the foundation of Peter's confession. 3. Transfiguration. Matthew 17 verses 1 to 8. Peter's experience of witnessing the transfiguration of Jesus on the mountain confirmed his belief in Jesus' divine nature and solidified his commitment to following him. This event strengthened Peter's resolve and prepared him for the challenges that lay ahead in his ministry. 4. Denial and restoration. John 18 verses 15 to 27. Peter's denial of Jesus 3 times during his trial was a significant moment of weakness and failure for Peter. Despite this betrayal, Jesus later forgave and restored Peter, reaffirming his role as a leader and showing him the power of redemption and grace. 5. Pentecost and aftermath. Acts 2-4. The outpouring of the Holy Spirit at Pentecost empowered Peter and the other disciples to preach boldly and fearlessly to a diverse audience. Peter's sermon on the day of Pentecost drew thousands of people to faith in Christ, marking a powerful moment of evangelism and conversion. What were some of Peter's notable achievements? Peter's leadership and contributions to the early church were integral to its growth and success. Some of his most notable achievements include: 1. Establishing the first Christian church. Peter played a key role in founding the first Christian church in Jerusalem, serving as a leader and teacher to the early believers. He guided the fledgling community through its formative years, establishing a foundation of faith and unity. 2. Preaching on the day of Pentecost. Peter's sermon on the day of Pentecost was a pivotal moment in the history of the church, leading to the conversion of thousands of people and the establishment of a vibrant Christian community. Peter's bold proclamation of the gospel set the stage for the spread of Christianity throughout the known world. 3. Healing and miracles. Peter performed many healing miracles and acts of power in the name of Jesus, demonstrating the authority and faith that God had given him. These miracles served as a testament to Peter's leadership and his unwavering belief in the power of Christ. 4. Defending the gospel. Peter was a staunch defender of the gospel and the teachings of Jesus, standing firm against false teachings and persecution. He boldly proclaimed the truth of Christ, even in the face of opposition and hostility. 5. Ministering to the Gentiles. Peter played a key role in reaching out to the Gentiles and expanding the gospel beyond the Jewish community. His vision and openness to God's leading led to the conversion of Cornelius, a Roman centurion, and his household, marking a significant turning point in the early church's outreach efforts. How did Peter die? Peter's ultimate fate is a topic of speculation and tradition, but according to biblical accounts and historical sources, Peter was martyred for his faith. Tradition holds that Peter was crucified upside down in Rome during the reign of Emperor Nero, choosing to die in this manner out of humility and reverence for Jesus. Peter's martyrdom symbolizes his unwavering commitment to Christ and his willingness to sacrifice his life for the sake of the gospel. His death marked the end of a remarkable journey of faith and leadership, leaving a lasting legacy that continues to inspire and challenge believers to this day. In conclusion, Peter's life and legacy offer a compelling narrative of faith, transformation, and leadership. From his humble beginnings as a fisherman on the Sea of Galilee to his pivotal role as a leader of the early church, Peter's story is a testament to the power of God to transform ordinary individuals into extraordinary instruments of his grace and truth. Through his boldness, humility, and unwavering faith, Peter exemplified the qualities of a true leader and disciple of Jesus Christ. His journey of growth and maturity, marked by moments of triumph and failure, serves as a powerful example for believers today seeking to follow in his footsteps. As we reflect on Peter's life and legacy, we are challenged to emulate his courage, vision, and compassion in our own leadership roles and ministries. Peter's example reminds us that true leadership is not about power or prestige, but about service, sacrifice, and devotion to God's kingdom. In studying Peter's life and leadership, we are inspired to embrace the same spirit of faith and boldness that animated his ministry, trusting in God's strength and guidance to lead us in the paths of righteousness and truth. May we, like Peter, be willing to step out in faith, to speak boldly for Christ, and to follow where he leads, knowing that in him, we have the power to change the world for his glory and our joy. I hope you enjoyed learning more about the life of Peter and his role in the spreading of the Christian gospel. To learn more about other disciples, watch the other videos on Jesus' other disciples. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
My name is Daniel. I am one of the spokespersons for Nehemiah Reset. The prior video was sponsored by Nehemiah Reset, a 501c3 Christian organization. Our mission is to assist Christians in developing a biblical worldview as it pertains to relevant cultural and biblical issues. We seek to inform Christ's followers, equip them, and mobilize them into action to vote for their biblical values and to actively engage in our culture. We are also committed to help Christians and non-believers to develop a better biblical worldview. Nehemiah Reset produces videos and ebooks to assist members of the church in developing a biblical worldview when it comes to cultural issues and biblical ideas. We produce videos on key topics like public school indoctrination, the woke agenda, sex education, equity and inclusion, climate change, immigration, religious freedom, and much, much more. We also produce videos regarding key biblical topics that help Christians become more Christ-like. To learn more about Nehemiah Reset or to watch our latest videos, go to our website at nehemiahreset.org, our rumble.com channel, or our YouTube channel. We produce videos every week. To get a weekly list of our latest videos, sign up for our weekly newsletter by clicking the subscribe button at our website. You can support our website by liking our videos, subscribing to our channels, or providing donations to help us produce videos and attract more viewers. Thanks for your help in growing God's kingdom and bringing more people to Christ. Thank you for your support. Have a great day.